Well, hello again, and welcome to Single Mom. That today, we are here really to help single mom become a better version of themselves. And how do we do that? By not being judgmental, by being understanding, by listening, by providing them a community where they can feel comfortable. Because the reality is that if you ever thought that you never made a mistake, you stupid. Okay? Plain stupid. And when I say mistake, I'm not talking about our kids because they are not mistakes, they are blessings. So if you are a single mother, anybody told you that your kid is a mistake, they stupid. Okay? Plain and straight. Kids are blessing. We experience different things in life so that we can grow from them. But our children are never a mistake. So if you have ever told your kid that they are a mistake, fix it. Otherwise, I'm going to call you, you know what already. Anyway, Sandra Graves here with you again. Welcome to Single Mom Today. And today we have a real single mom experiencing real challenges that she also will overcome. Because like I said, children are blessings and they help us become better than we have ever thought that we could be. And whatever struggle that we go through, they help us overcome them because our life is more purposeful than it was before. So that's the reason why today I have Charnele. I think that's the one. She's going to say it the right way when I introduce her. But Charnele, what? Say it again.
Charnele
Simmons. Charnele Simmons, and I'm Sandra Graves. You guys want to say like Sandra Graves? It's not. It's Sandra Graves. So you see how I could chop up other people's name too? Okay, it's all good. But anyway, we're going to have Charnele.
Yes, Charnele.
You're going to say that is really getting a lot challenging for me. And she is going to talk to us more about who she is and about the real struggle about being a single mom. Because let me tell you the reality is that, yes, single moms do experience some real struggles. And you might say, that's none of my business. They got themselves into that themselves. Mm-hmm. Well, you stupid too. Okay? Because everything that we do in this world impact all of us. And sometimes things happen in our lives so that our life can be more purposeful than it ever could have been. Okay? So, a lot of times we don't plan the things that happen in our life. And yes, you might say that we have control over them. But I am glad that I was a single mom twice before because if I had to do it all over again, I'd do it again. You know why? Because I am so blessed to have my amazing children that they have and to become the woman that I am today. And I would not have been able to become that woman if I didn't go through that struggle. So it's all yours. Now tell us your name correctly so that I can actually get it. And then tell us about you.
My name is Charnele Simmons. I'm a mother to a 1-year-old boy. I have my bachelor's degree in plant science, concentration in biotech, and I work at Fort Valley State University.
Awesome. University. I love anybody that have to do with university. You see, education is everything. You guys heard it. So to begin, so tell us, how is it that you became a single mom? Let's talk. I mean, I know you had sex. I know that. Okay. So we don't have to talk about it. We know about how that happened. Okay. If people don't know that, if you don't know that single mom becomes single mom because they have sex is stupid. Okay. That's plain right. Okay. And you know that I spread the word stupid like if it was water. Okay. So now tell us more about that. How did you become a single mom?
How I became a single mom is that I was in a relationship. I ended up getting pregnant on a trip. We ended up going to Florida to see his parents. And that night we had intercourse. When we came back home to Georgia, I found out I was pregnant. And I actually found out during having an ultrasound for my fibroids, not me being pregnant. I found out a month later that I was pregnant. And we were still staying together, and he ended up leaving afterwards.
So how did that happen? Because you went to his parents, so you
Yes,
got to meet his parents.
yes,
And so I assume you were having sex before that. It wasn't the first time that
right.
you were having sex. And then right after that, how was the story? Did he just immediately is like, why did he take you to his parents? He wasn't he was interested in you, obviously. He took you to his parents. And then he changed his mind. What happened there?
He took me to his parents when we came back. Once he found out I was pregnant, we stopped having sex. He no longer wanted to have sex with me. Yes, that's what he said. Um, he continued to stay with me because he didn't have a place to go.
Okay.
So yes, he didn't have a place to go. And afterwards, I believe in December of 2019, he left.
Okay, okay. I got it now. So at this point, what is it that you were experiencing? Were you depending on him staying, or what were you feeling at that moment?
At that moment, I was hurt. Um, I was by myself. And actually, before he left the house, my mom, who had never been to my apartment before, she ended up finding me. And when she came, she asked me, she said, "You're pregnant?" And I just broke down in tears. And I told her, "Yes, I'm pregnant." And I gave her the ultrasound for her to see. And she was so filled with joy because me and my mom, we had a hard relationship. Like, it was tension between us before this. And by me being pregnant, it actually brought us together. It brought our relationship together.
I definitely I believe that because like I'm telling you, it's always a blessing.
Yes.
Babies are a blessing. And I'm not telling you, ladies that are listening, to go run and have a baby if your life is screwed up. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the way that it came for me, it just has been a blessing.
Mhm.
And I know that the way that it's happened to you is just a blessing. But at that moment, when you after you told your mom, what was the reaction? Like, we gotta have an abortion? What is it? What were you thinking? What was going through your head?
Actually, between me and him, he was telling me to have an abortion. "Oh, get an abortion. I'll pay for it, this and that."
You see?
And
Mhm.
yeah, and that was, I had never thought about ever having an abortion. I've always wanted a child, not like this. I always wanted to be married
Yeah.
because you know, my stepdad's a pastor, my mom, she's a lady. We ended up joining a church when I was 17. At 17, I got saved,
Yeah.
and of course, and whatever. And this situation here even brought my relationship, you know, back into the right standing. And when I went to get the ultrasound for my fibroid testing, my OB told me not to get excited. She's like, "Don't get excited because he could possibly not make it." So I had someone at home telling me to get an abortion. And then when I had the ultrasound, she said, "Oh, don't get excited because not only do you have one, you have two and three fibroids and they're big."
Mhm. Wow. So you have a baby who's a fighter.
Yes.
For sure. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yes.
Yeah.
That is just amazing. So at this point, were you working, going to school? How old are you now?
I was working at a plant and I ended up quitting, and I had an interview at the time for another position for this other job, and I ended up getting hired. So
Mhm.
I left him because me and him worked together. So I would think I was thankful for that because it was very toxic to be in that situation. So
Mhm.
once I got hired at that other job, a lot of things, it was more money than I was making before.
Yeah.
So that was a blessing.
And how old were you when you got pregnant?
29.
20 what?
29.
29?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good age. That's a good age.
29.
No, we're not talking about no teenage pregnancy,
No.
anything like that. So but that time, I understand that there is a struggle, but by that time, you have already experienced a lot though.
Yeah.
You had different relationships before and all of that. So yeah, it's a better position, I will say, than most people, I mean, especially. I think with the ability to be able to be employed,
Right.
that makes a big difference. That's why I keep telling people, education is everything. You have to get educated, even though the struggle is still going to be there. You
Right.
have to you get educated. So now that we have the basic of your story, let's get into your story now.
Okay.
What you want to share with us? Where you want to start?
So my story, while I was pregnant, I was living in an apartment and he ended up leaving. And I think my rent there was $700 a month. And I was contemplating on whether I stay or go back home to be able to save. Well, one day I heard just as clear as day, God said, move. I didn't know why.
Mm-hmm.
I moved and he told me where to go. And I ended up calling this young lady that I went to church with at the time. And she answered the phone. She said, yes, you can come. So I moved in with her. 3 months later after that, I found out what I was having. I found out that I was having a boy. And I was reluctant to tell him, but I decided to send him the ultrasound picture. And when I messaged him that, he said, why did you send me this? I didn't agree to have this child with you together. And he threatened to kill me and my son. Yes. And so I was confused because before he left, he said, it's no longer about you. It's about the child now. Let me know when you have it. Let me know when you have it. And when I sent him that ultrasound, it was just like, what about the conversation that we had before? It was like I was talking to another person. I didn't understand. Wow. Yeah, I didn't understand. And it upset me. So I confronted him about it in person.
This is when you were while you were pregnant?
Yes, while I was pregnant. I confronted him at the job that we used to work together at. And while I was there, he pulled the gun out on me and cocked it. Yes. In a parking lot full of people.
And what happened?
I left and I filed a report against him. Cops came out. They took his information and everything. They asked me, why did you go? I said, well, I know it was probably a stupid idea to go at that time, but I wanted to confront him about the situation and to get, why are you doing this? Why are you threatening me and this baby? It's one thing to be mad at me, but an innocent child, that's what I don't understand.
So when you went, I'm not trying to blame anybody here, but when you went and confront him, was you like being rowdy and screaming at him, or what were you doing? Because I know people listen and they're always going to come up with something. Yeah.
I wasn't being rowdy with him. He had his female friend, a sister that he called his sister. She was in the passenger side and she was getting ready to walk in. And she started like arguing with me. With him sitting there. And even after he pulled out a gun, nobody could try to stop him, attack him or anything. They actually shook their head at me like, you're wrong. Right. I was like, really? And it was people that I had invited into my apartment. Like, we sat there, laughed together, ate together, and I was like, wow, this is how I'm being treated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, my eyes is already blinking. We're just getting upset with this thing. But every challenge happens for a reason. So at this point, where is he at in your life?
Where is he at right now? He's in jail.
Okay.
He's in jail. It wasn't due to my situation. A month after he pulled out a gun on me, he didn't shoot me, but he ended up shooting his ex a month later after that, our accountant. Yes, he shot her.
So God was protecting you. I mean, like you got a baby.
Yes.
So that you can stay away. Like that is the way that you got away. If you didn't have a baby, you wouldn't be experiencing all that craziness.
Yes, and that's why I heard him say move, because when he left my apartment, he moved right down the street from me. He didn't move to another side of the city. No, he moved right down the street. That's where his friends stayed, right down the street from me. So he had been watching.
Wow. That
Yeah.
is crazy, crazy, crazy. So he's going to be in jail for a long time, or?
Well, right now, I end up getting a call from the victim's advocate in the last week of August. And she told me that motion was coming up for him, but it took it off the table. And once they have that motion, it's not mandatory that I go, but right after that is the trial. So
why would you need to go, if anything?
Well, I would have to go for the trial because they summoned me in. So I
what?
would have to tell my side of the story because I filed a report against him that night.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Him, yes.
I understand now. But you say he shot the person or he killed the person?
He shot her. She survived.
Okay, good. Oh, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But how is that going to affect you going into that?
And see, that brought me back to forgiving him. Like I had to forgive him for that situation because I realized that I was holding so much in, like so much hurt, so much bitterness while I was pregnant with Abijah. And I had to let a lot of that go because I didn't want to carry that with me into having him, giving birth to him, and me being mad at his dad.
Right. And I agree with you. Because a lot of people, they don't even understand why the babies come out so sick. And it's just because you will just, instead of raising a baby, you were raising a whole bunch of hate inside of you that the baby was just eating up.
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it is very real. But let me understand your forgiveness level. Your forgiveness, does it mean that you are not going to accuse him, or does it mean that you are going to be speaking the truth?
No, I will definitely speak the truth.
Oh, okay.
I had to forgive him, that person.
Because some people is like, oh, I forgive him. He didn't do anything. I'm not. No. You still have to go through the process. He went through the process. You went through the process. You got to finish the process.
Right.
So, but it's not about vengeance because as a Christian that I am, it says vengeance belongs to the God.
Right.
But we can definitely speak up. So I'm glad that you're going to go and speak up, and so that they can handle whatever that they need to handle. My thing right here now is why did they summon? Oh, because you already had a report, so that's the reason why.
Right, and that's why they summoned me.
Okay.
So they're trying to build a case around him.
Right. Yeah, so that to give him more time or whatever.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense. So you thought about the forgiveness part when they summon you, or before that?
Before that.
Why were you thinking about forgiveness?
But like when I was pregnant with Abijah, there was a lot of hatred and bitterness in my heart. Like I said before, I was carrying a lot. Not only carrying him, I was carrying a lot on my heart.
Yes.
It was weighing me down. Like I was going through a lot mentally and physically, emotionally. And it was draining me. And I realized that I had to let that go. So that possibly.
But I'm going to be a man right now, and I'm going to say, hey, but I told you to get an abortion. Why are you going through the struggle when I told you get rid of the thing? What you say? No,
that's not what my decision. That wasn't my choice. I chose to have Abijah, and I took on full responsibility to deal with anything that came my way. Anything. So
what was the hate about?
It was a lot that I found out afterwards. It was a lot. I end up talking to, it's so, Sandra, so it's so much to this story. It probably would take all day because
but my thing is trying to find out about what was the hate about. So were you hating him, or were you hating yourself for being with him?
It was both, because I felt like I played the fool in the situation because not only was I pregnant, it was another female that was pregnant by him as well. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. So
Whoa. That's
I
the
was
reason why he knew that you were pregnant. That's what he says. Are you pregnant? Because he already been through the experience.
right.
That
And
makes sense.
and I didn't know that. I had asked this man off when we first met. I had asked him all questions. Oh, do you have a baby? You know, all the right questions you can ask a person. I asked, and
Wow.
he lied to me. I didn't find out about the other baby until like later. That she was pregnant.
And she was pregnant before you?
She was pregnant before me. She had her baby in November, and that's when I found out that I was having a Abijah, when she was giving birth, having her baby. Yes.
Oh, and how did you find out this?
He ended up telling me he had to.
He told you?
Yeah. He ended up telling me, and he denied her baby. He was like, "Oh, it's not mine. It's not mine." And he went to the hospital with her. He was there, I think, the day after, because me and her, I ended up finding her through Facebook, and we talked.
Social media is always get people in trouble.
Yeah. And it was a lot. And that's not the only thing. After they locked him up for shooting his ex, he was on the news. They had an article published about him, and then someone screenshot a conversation about on the thread, and it was another girl that was pregnant. Yes. So it was real. I was woo, like it was real ghetto. I say that it was real ghetto. So I was pregnant, the 19-year-old, because she was 19.
Wow. And
yeah.
And he was way older than you?
Yeah, he was 3 years older than me. So I was 29 at the time. He was 32 and she was 19.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yes.
Wow. That is pretty intense. And the fact that you decided to have the baby, the fact that he actually took you to his mom, that's the family.
Yes.
That's the part that is confusing.
Right. Because they told me, they was like, oh, he has never brought nobody here. We have never seen nobody he talked to. And I remember the day he asked me, he was like, do you still want to go to Florida? And I said, I couldn't believe he was asking me, because, you know, in that time we had a falling out, and he approached me. I was sitting in my car, and he approached me. He said, you still want to go on a trip? And I asked myself, are you going to act funny? Are you going to act brand new? Because he knew that we had a falling out. We really wasn't on speaking terms at the time. But I don't know why he asked me. I still don't know even why he asked me for him to do me like this. And at the end, because when we got there on the trip, and I was with his mom, his dad, all his siblings, he showed out, like how he treated me. Like he wasn't really being him. Maybe he was being himself, but he wasn't being that same person. Like
was he rude to you when he was with the family? Did he treat you?
He was rude. He was very rude.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
That's so confusing.
It was.
That's very confusing. You take me this far to your family, and then you're rude, and yeah.
The last day before we was to leave, he started, being nice, opening doors, asking me what I wanted to eat and all this stuff. And yeah.
Wow. Yeah. You have me thinking over here. Like, okay. But you know what? That is the crazy thing about people. You can never really put your hand on the fire for anybody saying that I really know this person, because your brain is like so different,
right?
So,
and he the thing about him, he was a Gemini, so he really played that part in him being like two people. Yeah, really played that part. And he really fed into that.
Yeah, but right now it's not. He's not sounding like no Gemini. He's sounding like he's possessed, like with multiple personalities or something.
Right. And it was, and then I had,
Yeah. So okay. So you said the forgiveness, but can you be very specific about when I asked the question? I said you forgive him or you forgive yourself. Explain us why you needed to forgive yourself.
I forgave myself because I knew better. It was just things like how I was raised. I knew better. But I think the
Mhm.
fact that I was single, wanting to be in a relationship, have someone, you know,
Yeah.
you start to accept a lot of things that and ignore a lot of the signs.
Yeah, and you were
So
29 too. So by that
mm,
time, you was like, "Oh, I'm getting older."
yeah,
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I, I was. I was like, okay, I could, when I was 20, 25, I was like, okay. But yes, I did start to get like, okay, it was,
Yeah, I know. That's what we
yeah,
laughing about it.
yeah,
I know.
it's true. I was
It's
getting,
all
I was
good.
getting, I was getting tired of being by myself, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. And you just pick someone that in Spanish it says susurro. He just
Yeah.
spoke sweet nothings into your
Yes,
ears, and it was
yes,
just like, okay. And you
yes.
did not see all the big red flags because it was more of like, I don't want to be lonely.
You're right.
Yeah, I know that. I know. And I'm not
Right.
telling you because I read it in a book. I know, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there.
That, that was exactly it. And two, he pretty much fed me that well, he had been abandoned and rejected from his family. Though we went on that trip that day, he kept saying, oh, it's fake. Out of all his siblings, his mom gave him up. Like she didn't keep him. And his dad did 25 years in prison. So he didn't have anybody. So he kind of fed me the
Mm,
story. And me being who I am, I just felt sympathetic for him. Like,
that's why you felt
and me,
sorry. You felt
yeah.
sorry for him.
And my mom's
That's why.
situation, like I knew how that felt because our relationship was rough, me growing up, and I was like, okay, I know how you feel. I've been there, and
Yeah,
that what affected us.
yeah, that make more sense. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, so okay, so how is it that you got to the healing part of it? Because I know, yes, you decide, okay, I'm going to forgive, but how did you? What is healing? Could you explain to me what is healing for
For
you?
for me, it was actually talking about it. That day that I went to the park and with my son, and I was exercising. And I end up going to the park where me and him had our like second date where we sat in the park. And I was just like, wow, let me tell the people about this. This is where we had our second date. We sat here and we talked for hours because that was how it was. And I realized like the more I kept talking about it, I began to heal from it because I had kept it in about the situation because it was embarrassing when you
Mhm.
think about being pregnant and you find out another young lady is pregnant, then another person is
Yeah,
pregnant, that
yeah,
knew about it was embarrassing. And me
yeah,
talking about it was healing for me.
mhm,
Even
yeah.
now, like it is healing. I used to cry. I used to cry about it, but I no longer it no longer is not those type of tears.
Right, right. And there's nothing wrong with crying, believe me. There's healing in crying.
Right?
I
It,
used to be one of those people that are like, I'm not gonna cry because it's make me weak. No, no,
no.
I cry all the time because I'm
Yeah.
gonna let go so that
Yes.
nothing stays in here. Whatever it
Right.
is, any pain that people cause you for
Yes.
whatever reason, they right, you right, or they wrong, or you wrong, whatever the situation, just cry and
Right.
let it out. It's
Is
such
that
a good feeling to just let it
yes.
out. I am
Yes.
telling you. I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, ladies, don't hold back. If you have to
Don't
cry, 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 cry,
cry.
cry. But then you get up and you keep moving. You can't
Yes.
just, oh, why me? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Don't be stupid. Okay.
Right.
The stupid part is just sitting there waiting for someone to come rescue you. You
Mm-hmm.
cry and you hold your cojones and you keep moving. And cojones
Right.
mean your balls. Okay. You
Yeah.
just hold on to that because they say women don't have balls. Yes, we do. Okay. I got balls. Even if anybody want to say that I don't, I do have some balls. And I am not transgender. I am all woman, but I have
Right.
balls. So you cry, you through your healing and all of that. So how is it that you got to the point where you say, okay, I can do this? What got you to that point? What?
It was for me, it was praying. Praying, fasting, and laying before God. I had to do a lot of that. A lot.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Don't stop
I,
there.
I had to do a lot of that, and I had to let go and let God.
That's right. That's right. Okay.
I'm sorry. What else?
Tell me more. You just tell people, oh, let go and let God, and you just drop that. What does that mean?
It was a lot of praying, a lot of fasting. I had to worship my way out of a lot of it because honestly, that is my weapon, worshiping. I'm a worshiper.
Yes.
I'm a warrior. Like I stood flat footed because I'm flat footed on all 10 toes, and I fought back. I fought my way out of it, out of that pit.
That's right.
I fought my way out because that's what Joseph was. You know, his brothers sold him. He went from the pit to prison to the palace.
That's right. I agree.
That's how I began to forgive and forget, to let God, because I couldn't do it on my own. I needed him.
Yeah. I'm going to actually give you a rebuttal on that one because you don't forget anything.
Right.
You're not going to forget, but you can forgive.
Right.
You're not going to forget, but because if you forget, you're going to repeat the same stupid stuff.
No.
You're going to make the same mistakes. But forgiveness is there. You're not going to forget. Believe me. Right now we're talking about it. You're not going to forget it.
I remember a lot of stuff, but in the extent of, in my phone, I had all our pictures. I had the trip. I will always go back into my phone. This is what I'm saying. I will always go back into my phone, and that's where I would begin to get bitter. I began to get frustrated all over again, and I didn't want to let it go. I wanted to keep. I said, well, I have something to show. Until my phone glitched. My phone glitched one day, and I couldn't recover nothing because it wasn't backed up in iCloud, and I lost everything.
That's right.
I lost everything. And one thing about this, Joseph named his son Manasseh for a reason. His name meant God has made me forget all of my trouble and all of my father's household because he forgot it. And that's the same. Right. That's the same thing that we have to do. Yes, not forget until, I'm going to repeat those same stuff, but let it go. Let it go.
Let it go. Yeah.
Heal all the way 100%.
Yes, I completely agree with that. And that's the reason why I was telling you that you are not going to forget, because you can't forget, because that is what's going to allow you to be better. Because if you actually forget everything that somebody did to you, whatever, the only one that just put it on the side and just don't hold us accountable or don't hold us back for the things that we do is God. He's just like, let's start over again. But we are humans, and we get to a point where we learn to forgive, but we don't forget, because as humans, we have the tendency to repeat the same mistakes over and over again. So when we don't forget something, it allows you to be able to say, hey, I've been through that already. Now it's just turn the other way. Right. That is what. But the forgiveness, I completely agree with you that we have to forgive. And forgiveness is not something that you say, oh, when I feel like it, it's going to happen. Forgiveness is more of, I'm going to make that decision to forgive. It's just simply You have to make that decision. And it doesn't mean that the person is right, that you're forgiven. It just means that you want to be free. And I can explain that like that because I've been there and I had to do
Right.
the same thing. So can you explain to us, just bring it all together? And I want you to be able to bring it together of the struggle, the
Mhm.
healing, the forgiveness. Put all that together for me.
Um, I named this single and struggling for a reason, because a lot of women I noticed on YouTube, they would make these videos. They say, well, I'm doing it by myself. I don't get any sleep. And I understood that. But I also wanted to let them know that you can come out of that as well. Like, it doesn't have to be that woe is me situation. Um, God has helped me in a lot of ways. And I know some people may not be religious, but it's just my um
Yeah, your
testimony.
testimony. Mhm.
Yeah, it's just my testimony that though one day I was sitting at home, I ended up checking my bank account, and I noticed there was thousands in my bank account. I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? It wasn't a payday, and it was just an unexpected blessing. And I think a week later, the IRS sent me a letter saying, hey, we owe you this money from the past. And I was like, wow, God, thank you. Like, though you may be single and though you may have your struggle some days, um, God is always present. He's right there. He said he'll be a father to the fatherless and a defender to the widows. And
Yeah,
even for single women, he's always been there for me.
yep,
He's been there for me through the healing, through my entire process thus far.
yeah.
And
And Ishmael and Hagar, she
that's
kept
another.
crying and she was crying, and so how am I going to feed him? And God
Come on,
says, I will take care of him.
come
I
on,
will take care of him. And that
right?
is the thing. God is going to take care of you, no matter what fool tells you that
Come on.
you are cursed and God
No,
is punishing you because you had a baby out of wedlock. You
no,
bless them, you
come
pray for
on.
them so that God can soften their heart, because those
Yeah.
fools, that's all they can talk about, foolishness.
Mhm.
Because God will not have given you that child if He didn't
Right,
want to. That was
right.
purposeful. He believed that you and Sandra Graves needed to have those babies in order for you to
Yeah.
become a better version of yourself, in order
Come
for
on.
you to learn to love and to give with love. Like, people like to give because they want to get. But one thing that we have as a single mom is that we learn to give without expecting anything. And that's
Right.
something that I was not able to do before I was a single mom.
Mhm.
I am still selfish, but before I was worse selfish than this. It was all about me. And when my son came, which is my first child, I was like, it's all about my son. It's all about my son. It's all about my son. Then my daughter and all that. So my life become more beautiful, more purposeful. And I see people who are trying to treat me differently because I am a single mom and I am like smiling and I am happy. And yes, sometimes I was having a hard time paying my rent, and sometimes I was having a struggle, like just keeping up with things. But when I turn around and I look at my baby, I'm like,
Come on.
it felt so good.
Come on.
It felt so good to have him with me at night, and he's sleeping right beside me right here. And when I opened my eyes, it was so purposeful. Sometimes I was really, I have to say it this way. I know I'm a Christian, but I'm going to do it. I was pissed at my managers and all of that. I was like, ah, and I wanted to quit. And I remember I have this baby right here that needs me, and I didn't quit because my life was more purposeful. And that's what it does. It's just, so anybody, I'm telling you, anybody that tells you that you are a curse, anybody that tells you that your kids saw a mistake, anybody, first you pray for them, And I mean, first, me, I'm going to tell you what I will do. Okay. What I would do is what you should not be doing. I would tell them they're stupid. Okay. That's the first thing I'm going to do. They're stupid. And then I'm going to say, after, I know you're stupid, but I'm going to bless you. I'm going to pray for you so that you stop being stupid and God can soften your heart. That's how I will see that. I know that's not a Christian like thing to do, but yes, I make a lot of mistakes that way. And don't have any problem calling people stupid. Okay. So stop calling, treating single moms like they are an abomination of the earth, like they have made so many mistakes and they have done so much wrong things. Because let me tell you, if you spit up in the air, it's going to fall in your face. And I'm talking especially to married women. Okay. And I'm directing that at married women because a lot of them feel that they're going to be married forever. We are in a world that nothing is promised. Okay. And when you think that you are never going to become a single mom, something is going to come knocking at your door and it's going to serve you a paper and say, welcome to single motherhood. Okay. So just continue to pray, continue to heal, continue to grow, and continue to be grateful that you have those babies in your life. Okay,
Yes.
that's what I would say. So Charlene, tell us a little bit more so that we can go into the closing part of this now. Because I really love everything that you shared. Just you're so honest and so open about the whole thing. So right now there are women listening. I don't know if they're teenage pregnant or whatever they are going through, and right now that guy have told them,
Mm.
abort that baby. I don't need that baby. You are messing up my life. Dump that thing, because that's how they treat it, like if it's a thing. Okay. So that woman that is trying to make that decision right now, do I have an abortion or do I keep the baby? What, just summarize it for us. What would you tell her right now?
Keep the baby. Abijah has been such a blessing in my life. Upon me having him, I procrastinated a lot. But since I had him, he has motivated me. I have started my own business. I have focused on, getting fit, losing weight, getting healthy. He has been a blessing. You never know the purpose and plan that God has for their life. And if you abort it, you will never see it. So I would say have that baby. Don't let peer pressure or whatever the family even may say. Have that child.
So you said, but have you told me, how am I going to do it? Like, I mean, like, you have an education and I don't have an education. Like, what do I do?
I said the same thing. And though I have an education, I'm still not making the money that I should. But I tell you this, no lie, I have seen more money during the pandemic than I have ever had in my life because I ended up quitting my job. I quit. We wasn't no longer making the hours that we was making. HR was having, they didn't want to help us in any way. And God provided. He provided. People blessed, they gave, and money ended up hitting my bank account.
That's right. That's right. So how is it that, what else would you tell them about handling the people? Like when you're going through the struggles, where were your friends? Where were the people? Where were everybody? What happened?
People were there. My friends was there. I had a couple people in my corner. My male friend since high school and a female friend since our childhood. She was there. So had people in my corner that encouraged me. They listened to me when I cried. They was there. They were very supportive. So I'm pretty sure God will send somebody to be a support and to be a blessing. I'm sure of that.
I definitely agree with that. So definitely, as if she has said, I will advise you to have your baby too. I will advise you. And I can actually tell you guys that my first was not a mistake. And my second was not a mistake. And my kids are not a mistake. And your kids are not a mistake. No matter how your situation came about, your babies are not a mistake. Your story might be different than most people's story. Your plan might have been different, and maybe you didn't even plan it, but your babies are not a mistake. And you have to have that very clearly in your head if you are listening or watching me right now, because when you put in your kids' head that they were a mistake, they live with that all their life. They are going to remember that, and they are going to always feel less than all the other people just because they are married, they are in wedlock, they would all that stuff. Never, never tell a story that where you are saying that your kids are a mistake. Your kids, no matter what happened, you might have made some bad decisions. You might have got in yourself in some things, but your kids are never a mistake. And that's something that I want to clarify with all of you ladies. They are not a mistake. And if you notice how many times that I said that, it's just so that it can be programmed into your head. We have all these deprogramming happening in the world already. I am trying to deprogram you right now into remembering your babies are not a mistake. They are a blessing. Okay. So do you agree with me on that one?
Yes, they're a blessing.
That's right. They are a blessing. So with that said, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for telling your story. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that I get the link from her Instagram and put it at the bottom of the video. But if you can make sure that you tell them where to follow you, so that they can find out more or they can do whatever. So tell them what is your Instagram?
My Instagram is Charnele Simmons. That's my personal page. And my business page is Mama the Goat. Greatest of all time.
What does that mean?
Greatest of all time.
I know, but Mama the Goat, like explain that, because I know I saw that, but I didn't get that.
So Mama the Goat came from me actually breastfeeding my son. So I was making milk. I was like, okay, I'm making milk. Mama the Goat. So that's what. And I found out that goat milk is similar to breast milk.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Because I saw that and I was like, I was not able to connect that.
Some people
I was not able to connect that. So I know that we found you through your struggle. So how are you helping women? Are you talking to women? What is it that you're doing now?
Yes, I started a YouTube channel. It's called Mama the Goat and Baby with me and my son. I do vlogs, lifestyle, reviews on breast pumps, all that stuff. So you can follow me there if you want to. I have my website, mamathegoat.com. Everything is integrated until my Instagram, my YouTube is integrated into my website.
So what is the plan? Where you want to take that? Explain to me more about your vision of your Mama the Goat. What is it that you want to do?
Yeah, I just want to inspire other mothers to know that there's purpose in your life, that you are great. And I sell t-shirts, so that's like you wearing a message to let you know that you're great. There's something great in you. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. So I started out selling t-shirts, and I planned on making some handmade goat soap to put with it. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff I want to do, Sandra.
That's cool. Well, you got the time because your baby just started, so you have time. As long as God allow you to breathe, you can do so much, and so can you. If you're listening to me, you just have to not lose hope. Whatever it is that you're doing, never lose hope, The struggle is real. You will have challenges. People are going to talk about you. People are going to support you. You're going to have jobs. You're going to lose jobs. Your kids are going to give you a hard time. Your kids might be a pain in the butt from time to time too. Okay. But guess what? It's still a blessing. Okay. All you have to do is keep fighting, keep persevering. Don't give up. Don't lose faith. And God will always be with you.
Yes.
Okay? God would always be with you because he is the only one that have kept me standing. I can actually tell you that. Only through God I have been able to stand and persevere. And think times that I thought that I was never, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. God always shows up. And I just felt like something that was pushing me to go moving forward. And that is, I can tell you, I mean, like, it actually feel like, because you're drained, everything is just like, sometimes you just get so tired, like, what am I doing? And then you just have to pray, and you just have to look up, and you have to say, I am weak. And then he makes you strong. And you just have to keep going. And that's how it works out. So I can tell you, this is how I feel it. So thank you so much for sharing your story.
Welcome. Thank you.
And reminding me how blessed I have been as well.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you so much. So so I am going to stop the video right now, but don't disconnect, because me and you're going to talk later. So for you guys listening, if you want to come and tell your story, go ahead and send me an email to info@singlemom.today, info@singlemom.today. And if you want to be a sponsor, also send me a message. The goal is to help single mothers find jobs, connect with other single mothers, and help them become a better version of themselves. This is not about a pity party and about cursing man and about talking bad about man. It's not about all that. If you are doing that, you're just wasting time and you're heating up space that you don't need to be heating up. Okay. This is about growing, because if you don't grow, your kids don't grow. If you get stuck in hate, your kids get stuck in hate. Your kids don't even understand why it's that they're angry, because you passed on that information to them. Okay, so you need to be grateful. You need to be forgive yourself, forgive whoever. You need to heal. You need to move on. You need to look up, and you need to go moving forward. That's what you need to do. Okay, so if you're not doing that, contact my guest or contact me, and we will be able to talk you through it and let you understand how blessed you are, because I know. Oh, blessed I am. Oh, blessed I am. And I'm not going to keep singing because I know Whitney Houston or anything like that. Okay. But I can sing, and I can be grateful because God is listening to me, and he loved the sound of my voice. And that's good enough for me.